What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Blade, and we're back with some more reactions. Today, we got YouTube kids channels removed for disturbing reasons. Make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get right into it.
On November 17th, 2017, police officers in Granite City, Illinois, received a link to the kids' YouTube channel, Toy Freaks. The video showed a father filming his two young daughters in comedy skits that had started to make even YouTube's own moderators uncomfortable. We're going to start with the more creepy and strange, and gradually move on to some of the most disturbing YouTube kids channels. Toy Freaks started in 2012.
Yo. 1 billion views? 1 mil subs. 2012.
The creator, Gregory Chisholm, was a single father of two girls, Annabelle and Victoria, living in Granite City, Illinois. He built the channel around simple home shot skits. Most videos took place in the family's house, in the kitchen, in the bedrooms, and very often in the bathroom. The videos were very easy for kids to follow. Over time, the channel grew into a giant. But the more you watch, the clearer it gets that this wasn't just messy family content. It was a format built around 4 key ideas: bad baby roleplay, gross out humiliation, fear with real animals, and the kids' panic as a selling point. The bad baby videos in particular are one of the reasons Gregory would later be investigated by the police. In the videos, the girls, who are clearly school age, are put back into baby roles. They wear diapers, drink from bottles, and are told they're bad babies when they cry or act out. Some of these videos would reach the hundreds of millions of
Yo. Oh, that's like a freaking music video. That's like a Mr. Beast video numbers, bro. People are watching this? I don't get it, bro. Yeah, the channel's called Toy Freaks, emphasis on the freak. This guy puts the freak in Toy Freak.
views. On the surface, it's framed as comedy. The dad exaggerates his reactions, calls himself Freak Daddy, and makes
He's playing into the whole persona.
his own fake tantrums part of the bit. But compared to their freak-out content, the bad baby videos were nothing. In one of Toy Freak's most infamous videos, A Frog in the Tub, Annabelle Freaks Out, Freak Daddy presents a special surprise for the girls.
Well, the two little toy freaks are playing in the tub, and they're just kind of having fun in there. Yeah, just getting water in place sometimes. Well, guess what? They're gonna get a surprise. Hey, I got a surprise for you. You want to see the surprise?
You would think after that sort of reaction, Freak Daddy wouldn't want to genuinely scare his daughters like that again. But in a similar video, he makes Annabelle sit next to a live spider in the back of his car. Naturally, again, she freaks out on camera and starts crying to hundreds of millions of viewers. These videos are grouped into a playlist literally called Annabelle Freaks Out. Any single video might look like a tasteless prank, but put together, the pattern is hard to ignore. At the same time, YouTube was already under fire for Elsagate. Thousands of kids' videos using Elsa.
Bro, Elsagate, it was like a disease, bro. That was the most disturbing. Bro, that shit was so bad. Bro, I remember YouTubers were making so many videos on them. These were weird people. They made bank, yo. That's the other problem. They would make these videos, get like hundreds of millions of views, and they would just cash out, bro. They made bank. Like, I'm telling you, bro, some of these people know how to exploit YouTube, and then it's too late for YouTube to do anything.
Spider-Man, and other characters in violent or inappropriate scenes, disguised as kid-friendly uploads, which we'll touch on in detail later. Toy Freaks didn't use those characters, but it lived in the same era. So while YouTube was promising parents that kids' content was safe by design, its own systems were still feeding Toy Freaks to millions of children. That's when public pressure started to build. Reporters wrote about Toy Freaks as one of the strangest and most disturbing examples of kids' content on YouTube. Parents and child safety groups questioned why YouTube was allowing this kind of material to stay online, let alone get millions of views. YouTube had an obvious choice. If it did nothing, it risked being seen as indifferent to child exploitation. If it acted, it had to admit that its systems had helped create the problem in the first place. On November 17th, the channel was terminated. Thousands of videos vanished, and one of the most watched kids channels in the world was gone. YouTube said it advised
Better than Ryan's Toys review? No, it's not. Can't tell me that these mans beat my boy Ryan. Poor kid, bro. That's a whole nother story. Yeah, watch his story beyond here too.
violated their child endangerment rules. But that decision raised another question. If the channel is disturbing enough for YouTube to delete completely, is it also illegal? After the takedown, YouTube sent the Toy Freaks case to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. The NCMEC reviewed the material and passed it on to two police forces, Granite City, Illinois, where Gregory's company was registered, and St. Charles County, Missouri, where he was living. Officers watched many of the same videos that had horrified parents and viewers. The frog in the bath, the spider in the truck, the bad baby tantrums, and the food and pee scenes.
This is so
Granite City
gross.
police
This is actually so gross to look at.
said they couldn't find probable cause to arrest Gregory based on the footage they had, especially since much of it seemed to be filmed outside their area. Authorities in Missouri reached a similar conclusion and did not file charges. Toy Freaks is only the tip of the iceberg. Next is a channel where the line goes even further, where the alleged harm isn't just what we see on camera, it's what the police say was happening off camera to keep the channel going. Fantastic Adventures launched in 2012, run by a woman in Maricopa, Arizona named Michelle Hobson. On the surface, it looked like low-budget kids comedy, but I'm gonna censor every child's face due to the severity of crimes committed against them. Most videos were 10 to 15 minutes long. On screen, Michelle was mostly off-camera. Viewers knew her as the director and the YouTube mother behind the scenes, and sometimes heard her voice giving instructions or lines. The stars were her 7 adopted children, a mix of boys and girls of different ages, all presented as one big quirky team.
And I'm Summer. And we're from Fantastic Adventures. And we've been searching and searching for a Stream Toys TV's house. And we finally found it. Ethan and Cole always think they're good at sneak attack. But we're better. And we're gonna film it to prove it. Let's do it.
The channel called itself a kids comedy show. The tone was very lighthearted, as the kids smiled, casted spells, and ended every episode by asking viewers to like and subscribe. By early 2019, the channel had attracted around 800,000 subscribers and hundreds of millions of views, which also brought in hundreds of thousands of dollars in ad revenue. So
I'm a kids channel now, guys. I'm sorry. I'm switching again. I'm gonna become a kids channel, yo. I don't care anymore. I'm gonna sell out. Bro, this is so dumb. Make some cringe ass kids videos and just make bank.
on YouTube, what you saw was simple. A group of adopted siblings led by a creative mother playing out homemade fantasy stories for a big audience online. But when police finally went inside their house, they found a very different reality. In March of 2019, a 19-year-old woman, one of Michelle Hobson's older biological children, went to the police in Maricopa. She said her younger adopted siblings were being abused in the home and she had obtained video proof. In a secretly recorded video, one of the adopted children describes what really happens behind the scenes.
Where she locks me in a room with only underwear and tank top. Does
doesn't give me a blanket.
What kind of room is it?
A closet, and it's a tile floor. No carpet, just an empty green room. And how
She like got all the
if we do
carpet
something
ripped out
wrong,
and put in
like
tile
drop
for it.
something on
Is there a
the
lock on
floor
the
or
closet?
something, she doesn't let us eat for at least 2 days straight, or maybe more.
What's the longest she's ever made you go without eating?
4 days. Straight 4 days.
No food and no water?
No food, no water.
Do you
These poor children. Adopted too, man. Why do these people do this, bro? You're making bank. You're supposed to be giving them the life that they should have had, but you're just making their life worse. You're making bank off that ad revenue. By making tens of thousands per video, you definitely can feed them, live in lavish, bare clothes, bare McDonald's every day. But you're here starving them for 4 days, isolating them, locking them away like they're some slaves.
get to go to the bathroom whenever you need?
No. Once I had to pee and she locked me in that room because I did something. And she locked me in that room and then she made me hold my pee for 4 hours. And then she didn't let me go for the rest of the night, so I had to go. And I peed myself because she didn't let me go.
Is she like that to everyone?
Yes. That's why she gives everyone pull-ups, because she knows that they're going to pee.
Officers carried out a welfare check. When they arrived, they found the 7 children, who in the officers' words, appeared malnourished, with pale skin, dark rings under their eyes, underweight, and repeatedly asking for food and water. When an officer asked one of the children if they wanted a bag of chips, the child refused, sobbing and panicked, saying that their mother would smell it on their breath.
Protect you? Is there anything in here that you want to eat right now while we're waiting? Is seriously anything? Look, you got some chips. No, she's not. No, she's not. No, she's not. You are not going to talk to mom right now.
This first visit set off a
That's insane. The fear that she instilled upon these innocent children. For them to say she's gonna smell the chips in my breath. Get her ass in jail, bro.
much wider investigation. Police separated the kids and started taking statements. Some were too scared to talk at all. Others described a routine that was far darker than anything visible on YouTube. Several of the children said they were punished if they didn't take part in videos, or if they forgot lines, or if they didn't perform the way their mother wanted. One child told the police that if she refused to be in a video, they were pepper sprayed as punishment, sometimes over the whole body, and once between the legs, causing pain that lasted for several days. Others described being forced into ice baths as punishment, or made to stand with their legs and arms raised for very long periods, from early morning until late at night. But somehow even worse was that at least one boy said his mother would touch him in a place where it would be very illegal to do so, and pinched him until he bled. These weren't one-off incidents. The children
Electric chair. Electric chair. Get her out of here, bro.
obviously described a pattern. If they didn't perform for the channel, or if their performances weren't good enough, they faced extreme violence. But one detail in the report stands out. All of the children told the officers that they had been pulled out of school for years, and they believed the main reason was so that they could keep filming fantastic adventures. So school stopped being the main structure in their lives. Their YouTube channel did. So every frame of video isn't just mindless entertainment, it's evidence of what the children were being pushed to do. On the basis of the kids' statements and what officers saw in the home, Michelle Hobson was arrested in March of 2019. She was charged with around 30 felony counts, including child abuse, unlawful imprisonment, child neglect, and molestation. Her two older biological sons, Logan and Ryan, were also arrested and initially charged with failing to report the abuse. Later in life, they would face separate charges of sexual misconduct with minors. All 7 adopted children were removed from the home and placed in state care. YouTube, which had previously allowed Fantastic Adventures to grow to hundreds of thousands of subscribers, terminated the channel under its child endangerment guidelines. In press statements, YouTube said it would work with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children to identify and remove channels where children were being abused. But the legal story took another turn. After her arrest, Michelle Hobson was held in a jail in Arizona, though shortly after being incarcerated, she would suffer a brain injury and was moved to hospital. A judge later ruled that she would be incompetent to stand trial. The state then had a limited window to try and restore her competency. But in November 2019, before any trial could take place, Michelle Hobson died in a Scottsdale hospital. As a result, the charges against her were dismissed. Prosecutors later said that they had been confident she would have spent the rest of her life in prison if the case had gone to verdict. Instead, there was no conviction, no jury decision, and no formal legal record beyond the initial charges and police reports. The children were left to recover in private, and the person at the center of the case died without being found guilty or not guilty in court. Fantastic Adventures show.
You think I care? No. Good riddance. What the hell is an evil woman, bro? Whether she was guilty either way, could have just died in jail. Well, see, I mean, look at her, bro. Health problems got to her first. It is what it is, man.
The worst case version of YouTube, but there's a middle ground that's still disturbing, where parents don't hide the harm at all. They film it, label it as a prank, and post it for millions of people to
Ew.
watch. One of the clearest
that?
examples is CJ So Cool and his infamous prank on his own children that went way too far. CJ So Cool is the online name of Cordero James Brady, a family vlogger based in the United States. His main channel launched in 2014 and today has roughly 9 million subscribers and billions of views. On the surface, his channel looks a lot like aspirational family content on YouTube, moving into bigger houses, buying new cars, surprising his partner and kids with gifts. But between those videos, he built another identity, the king of pranks. Over the years, he has uploaded a long list of clips where he scares, tricks, or embarrasses his children for content. These include fed the kids dog doo-doo prank, I beat up the kids prank, and a drowning baby prank, where he convinces his partner that their infant has died in the pool. Each one pushes
Bro, that's not a prank, man. Oh my god.
the line a little bit further, but his most controversial video was not any of those. The now removed video that CJ became most infamous for was Gave the Kids Laxative prank.
That is very bad for kids. Bro, the only laxative prank I've seen is like the old school one where these dudes gave it to seagulls in the beach. That one's also kind of messed up. It was funny at the time, bro. It was funny at the time. That one was hilarious, bro. Because that was a public beach and all the seagulls came. They had like fries or something and they put like, it was like laxative powder. They put it all on the fries. They just knocked it on the beach. And the seagulls came and they're like, eat it up. And then it was freaking napalm strike inbound. They were pooping like crazy. It was just like, meow.
What's happening, Wolfpack and cool kids? It's your one and only CJ So Cool, and I'm back. Oh, skateboarding. Tony Hawk, Pro Skater 5, cool. Nice grind. You guys want some ice cream later?
Yes, sir.
What kind?
It's already sus. So why are they saying yes, sir? Is crazy. To your dad? I don't know. You just say yes, dad. Yes, sir. I don't know.
Vanilla ice cream.
Vanilla? Well, okay. You guys all on the same page? Okay, I'll make sure I get you some vanilla ice cream since you guys are having so much fun.
In the video, CJ takes bowls of ice cream meant for his children and mixes in Pedialax, an over-the-counter laxative intended to treat constipation. He presents the ice cream as a treat. The kids eat it on camera, having no idea that any
Bro, they're gonna like crap their pants on camera? That's gross. That's gross. They even film and then you have to clean it up too. It's probably not gonna be like crap. It's gonna be like diarrhea, so it's even worse. 100% they're gonna censor it. Because I do not want to see that.
anything has been added. The video then cuts forward in time to about 90 minutes later. By this point, the laxatives have kicked in. CJ films his children in separate bathrooms, sitting on the toilet, crying and clutching their stomachs. One child shouts that his stomach hurts. Another tries to close the door on the camera, but CJ keeps filming. While they're in pain, he laughs and jokes to the camera about how funny it is, making comments like,
You gonna be alright? You think it was that ice cream? You ate too much? Too fast? You gonna do that again? Oh my goodness, this boy's stomach is broken. Ooh. Go, Nation. Go. Okay. Oh, your stomach hurts too. Ooh. Your booty stank.
this is a parent dosing his kids with a real drug to cause pain and then recording the results as entertainment. The video didn't go unnoticed. News outlets around the world ran stories about it, as it was a form of child abuse, because the kids' genuine pain was being used to entertain strangers and make money. YouTube removed the laxative video, and for a period, suspended the CJ So Cool channel over the prank. One local news station reported that CJ could face child abuse charges for lacing his children's ice cream because the prank appeared to make them physically sick. Despite the backlash, there is no public record of child abuse charges actually going forward. His channel was suspended, the laxative video removed, and then his uploads resumed. Today,
Oh, you just got away with it. These poor children. How old are they now, bro?
CJ is still very active, with
He's still active?
still over 9 million subscribers and regular
Bro, how old are they now? Who the hell's watching them?
family content. With CJ So Cool, the problem is obvious. You see the harm inside the prank itself, but a lot of family vlogging is quieter, as the danger sits in private.
Whoa, look at this place.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's so big.
I know.
It's great.
Who's gonna ring the bell? Can I?
If you're a preteen girl on YouTube in the early 2010s, there's a good chance you knew at least one of the channels in the 7 Awesome Kids network. The idea was simple. Each channel had 7 girls.
Yo, what are these channels, bro? Yo,
One for each day of the week. Every girl posted once a week. Every week had a theme. One week might be magic powers, another back to
They said 2010s?
simple. Knew at least one of the channels. For a preteen girl on YouTube in the early 2010s, there's a good
Bro, I did not see any of this.
chance you knew at least one of the channels in the 7 Awesome Kids network. The idea was simple. Each channel had 7 girls, one for each day of the
Oh,
week.
he said if you were a preteen girl, so I'm not a preteen girl, so maybe that's why I was watching freaking PewDiePie, bro. All the way back then. PewDiePie, Markiplier, there's Game Grumps. That was like early 2010s. Probably like Ryan Higa. What else was I? Like, look, oh, Smosh, Ray William Johnson. I was watching all of them. Yeah, bro, I was watching all the dudes, bro.
Every girl posted once a week. Every week had a theme. One week might be magic powers, another back to school, another best friends. The videos were bedroom vlogs, sleepover skits, fake challenges, or comedy sketches about crushes and homework. There were no parents on camera, no screaming adults, just kids and teens talking straight into the lens, acting like characters on a DIY Disney Channel.
Oh, I'm all ready for bed, but tomorrow I kind of want to go shopping, so let's go see how much money I have saved.
The audience understood the format immediately, and so did the algorithm. By 2018, the 7 channels together had more than 17 million subscribers and billions of views. The biggest of them, 7 Supergirls, had around 9 million subscribers and around 5 billion views on its own. For millions of young girls, these channels were YouTube. They didn't feel like shows made by adults. They felt like hanging out with their older sisters. But the network obviously wasn't being run by kids. Behind the scenes, almost every part of the brand, the casting, the contracts, the pay, the editing, was controlled by one man, Ian Rylert.
Oh, hell nah. It's a dude running the whole thing? Yep, you know, I've already... I was trying to say a phrase, but then I forgot the phrase. The jokes just write themselves, bro. Of course, look at him. PDF file right here. I can't wait for this guy to tell me that he did the most disturbing, disgusting things to these 4 innocent children. Face of a PDF file.
Rylert was a British producer who had moved to Florida. In 2008, he co-founded 7 Awesome Kids, and over the next decade, built out the whole network. He recruited girls roughly aged 8 to 18 from the US, UK, and elsewhere. He had them sign contracts, set their filming schedules, and directed their content remotely. On camera, it looked like a bunch of friends making skits. Off camera, it was a highly controlled operation ran by a man in his 50s. For a long time, that control would stay invisible, but then, in 2018, it showed up in a police report. One morning in August, Orange County deputies were called to a hotel near Walt Disney World. A teenage girl, one of the performers of 7 Awesome Kids, under contract to Rylert and under 16 years old, told them that during preparations for a video shoot, he had crossed the line.
You don't say, bro. I didn't see that coming. They really did that? Oh my god. The water is wet.
According to police reports, she said that he had brought her into his hotel room to get ready for filming. He told her that her chest looked too big and that to fit the role, she needed to make her look smaller. He ordered her then to undress so he could see how to tape or bind her. When she refused, he raised his voice and pressed her to do it anyway. She said he touched her chest or telling her how to wrap it and tried to pull down her underwear against her consent. She also told officers that when she resisted, he pointed back to her contract and said he could fine her if she didn't cooperate. So this wasn't just a creepy comment or an awkward moment. It was a man in his 50s using a work contract and his authority as a director of a kids franchise to pressure a girl under 16 into removing her clothes. Police arrested Ian that same day and charged him with lewd and lascivious molestation, which is a serious felony under Florida law. The charge carried a possible sentence of up to 15 years in prison. He pleaded not guilty at first, surrendered his passport, and waited for trial. Meanwhile, the channel stayed up. For months after his arrest, 7 Awesome Kids and all its sister channels were still online, still feeding their back catalog to kids. But no new videos were being posted. YouTube demonetized the network, meaning that Rylert stopped being paid for ads, but the videos themselves remained available. Then, in early 2019, the legal case took a turn. Instead of going to trial, Rylert reached a plea deal. He pleaded guilty to a reduced charge of child abuse in connection with the same incident. Reports from that hearing say he was sentenced to 90 days in jail and 2 years of probation, a much lighter punishment than the maximum he could have faced
feel like America just loves PDF files, bro. Because this is a common occurrence that keeps happening with PDF files specifically. They keep getting away. And then they do it again. Because they know they can get away with it. So then they just do it again. They need to get put in jail. And then when they go to jail, they have to announce to all the jailmates, like, this guy. You know those pranks people do with their friends? They'll like go to like a public store and then they'll be like, you're here to meet a 15-year-old. That's what they have to do. They have to put them in jail, and then on the announcements on the speaker, they'll be like, this man, yo, Schmo, is in jail for blank the blank. And then they all know. So then his ass is cooked. You're gonna be like, oh yeah? You like doing that to blank and blank? But no, these people are like, okay, you pled guilty. So you don't have to go for 15 years. 90 days. All you get, man. And you're free. Shake my head, bro.
If convicted at trial. Shortly after that plea, YouTube finally pulled the plug. In March of 2019, the company terminated all of the channels. By that point, the network had been a major part of YouTube's ecosystem for a decade. After the arrest, some former performers started speaking out in their own videos and to reporters. They had described a work environment that in hindsight felt very unsafe, with Rylet asking for swimsuit photos and commenting about their bodies while they were still children. Many of them said they had brushed it off as creepy but harmless, because at the time, the whole thing felt like a dream job, a chance to be on a huge channel with millions of viewers and real paychecks.
About the fact that our children are probably going to go back to school this term and be relentlessly bullied by people, ignorantly and misguidedly, relentlessly bullied by people who misguidedly, completely ignorantly and wrongly think that their dad is a fiddler or a kiddie fiddler or a groomer or interested in children.
No, hold on. Can I say that word? That might be my new word. Will I get demonetized if I say that? Hold on.
Bullied by people, ignorantly and misguidedly, relentlessly bullied by people who misguidedly, completely ignorantly and wrongly think that their dad is a fiddler or a kiddie fiddler.
If he had to censor that word, but he kept kiddie fiddler, yeah, I'm about to use. That's gonna be my new word now. If that's safe, that's gonna be. Bro, that's the new word, guys. Yo, kiddie fiddler. Instead of PDF file, kiddie fiddler.
Or a groomer, or interested in children in an inappropriate way.
The Ingham family is a British YouTube channel run by Chris and Sarah Ingham. They started uploading more than a decade ago. Over time, the channel turned into a daily diary of their life with their children. You see breakfast at the kitchen table, homeschooling routines.
Holy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Jeez.
Supermarket runs, caravan trips across Europe, and long holiday series from places like Disneyland. The channel sells a mood. If you watch long enough, you feel like you know every child, every inside joke, every nickname. They call their audience the iFam and talk to them like they're an extended family spread across the world. As of writing, the channel sits at 1.37 million subscribers and close to 700 million views, with more than 3,000 videos uploaded. Because the uploads are so frequent, many fans, especially younger ones, start to feel like they know these children in real life. Some watch every day after
You parasocial people now.
after school. Some travel to meet and greets. Some send long, personal messages to the family through YouTube comments and Instagram DMs. But when your audience is full of teenage girls who feel like your kids are their best friends, it also means those same teenagers are only a message away from the adults running the channel. In 2018, that became a problem. Several young women would come forward online and to the press saying that Chris Ingham had sent them inappropriate messages. Teenage fans who followed the family online met Chris at holidays or events and then received late-night messages from him afterward.
You have a wife! Why did they keep to... What's wrong with your wife? You had 6 kids with her, but you want to talk to the kiddies?
One 19-year-old hotel worker told Vice she had contacted the family when she learned they were staying at the resort where she worked. She met them in the restaurant during her break. Later, she said Chris emailed her separately, asked for her Snapchat and Instagram, and then began sending messages that focused on her appearance and body. Other young fans, some as young as 16, shared screenshots they said showed Chris flirting with them, asking suggestive questions, and trying to arrange meetings away from parents. A petition on change.org called on YouTube to intervene, accusing Chris of grooming and listing multiple allegations from different girls. Chris has always denied grooming anyone. In a 2018 response video, he said he'd never done anything that could be classed as grooming and described the backlash as a witch hunt.
I am not a social predator or any of the other ridiculous crap I have seen written about me online. Never in my life have I ever done anything that could be even remotely considered that. Not ever. I'm just a normal, hard-working husband and father. Normal guy, just a straightforward, normal guy. And that's it. All of the continued relentless harassment that Sarah and I are facing online at the minute, especially on Twitter, is disgusting. It's absolutely outrageous.
For the Ingham kids, the line between family and brand is almost gone. Their childhoods are monetized in real time. Their faces, names, and even likenesses become products. Their father's reputation, shaped by not only what he does on camera, but by how he behaves with the teenage audience that watches his daughters grow up, is extremely disturbing. But there's a family vlog channel where the child wasn't just part of the brand, he was the brand, right up until the day his parents announced that he had been given to another family. Micah and James Stauffer ran
What the heck?
the channel Stauffer Life with their adopted son, Huxley. Micah and James are Ohio-based family vloggers. They built an audience of roughly 1 million subscribers. Their content looked like a lot of mommy vlog and family content online. Home renovations, day in the life videos, kids' birthdays, and plenty of sponsorships. In 2016, they decided to adopt a child from China. They told viewers that they were specifically open to a child with special needs. Over months, they filmed that process. Home studies, paperwork, matching calls, and fundraising. In 2017, they announced that they had been matched with a little boy. His Chinese name wasn't used on camera. They said they would call him Huxley. He was about 2.5 years old with medical issues that, at least on paper, they said they understood and were prepared to handle. From that point on, Huxley became the center of the channel. They filmed their first vlog with him in China, the moment they first held him, in a video titled Huxley's Emotional Adoption Video. That upload, now deleted, became one of their most watched videos with over 5 million views. They posted at least 27 videos about his adoption journey, from fundraising and travel to his first weeks at home. In those early vlogs, you can see a child who is clearly overwhelmed, crying in airport terminals, clinging to his caregivers, and struggling with the loud noises and new faces. At the same time, the channel frames the whole story as a kind of fairy tale, a forever family narrative, complete with emotional music and brand integration.
Dear Huxley, welcome to your forever family, a family that will never give up on you. It was really hard to get to know the real you. You guarded your heart fiercely, and rightfully so. We have no idea all of the things that you've been through before we met you. And then slowly but surely you started opening up, and boy, was it amazing. Your smile could light up the entire room.
The more they posted about Huxley, the faster their numbers grew. The Storfers asked viewers to help fund the adoption and travel costs. Fans sent money and gifts. At the same time, Micah launched more brand deals. In one sponsored video for Dreft baby detergent, Micah talks about using the product to bond with Huxley, explaining over footage of him that the scent helps her feel like she's finally getting the newborn baby experience she missed because she adopted him at an older age. His story sold detergent, clothing, and the idea that the Storfers were a generous and aspirational family, but that doesn't automatically make the adoption insincere. Many adoptive parents share their journeys online, but it does mean from the moment that he arrived, Huxley's image and journey were tied to views, ad revenue, and sponsorship deals. Therefore, when things started going wrong, the audience wasn't just emotionally invested in a child, they were emotionally invested in the perfect picture of a family they had been sold. On camera, Micah talked about the challenges of parenting a child with higher needs. She said his original file from China had been incomplete, and that once he was home, doctors diagnosed him with more complex conditions than they had expected, including a stroke in utero, level 3 autism, and a sensory processing disorder. In some vlogs, she described long days of therapy sessions and meltdowns. In others, she showed progress updates as he learned new signs, routines, or words. From the outside, you can see two things at once. On one hand, they were clearly dealing with a child who needed more support than they had planned for. On the other hand, the channel was still monetizing every second of it. Videos about Huxley's challenges went up filled with ads. The Storfers openly talked about how YouTubing
Bro, these mans just freaking used this poor baby to make money. Adopting a baby just to make money. Bro, it's so easy to just manipulate these YouTube family vlog viewers, bro. That's what I'm learning. Bro, I can do that right now. I can just go start a whole new channel. Hey guys, I adopted it. You have to think, bro. 'Cause I'm a guy, I'm a dad, right? So I can't get a son. I have to get a daughter. So the dynamic is even crazy. A father daughter, like, hey guys, I adopted this. Why am I saying it like this? I adopted this beautiful child from China. This is my new daughter I adopted. And just start a whole new channel, and everyone be like, oh my god, that's so nice. And I just farmed the daughter. Millions of views. People give me money. Shake my head, bro. These family channels just all need to stop. Stop monetizing your family. Just grow a normal family like everyone else. Stop freaking. Actually, that's not even. Bro, nowadays, every TikTok, Instagram, Reel, YouTube short is gonna have someone filming their baby doing some funny thing. Millions of views. They get money off TikTok. They get money off YouTube shorts. They get money off IG Reels. They get money off Facebook Reels. It's like, you can, bro. Everyone, this whole generation is content brain, bro. Anything can be monetized. So it's like, there's no point in telling people to not do it because they're gonna do it.
helped pay for therapy, whilst using his story to generate said income. In 2019, Micah gave birth to their fourth biological child. Around that time, viewers began to notice that Huxley was appearing less often in vlogs.
What happened to our boy, huh? What happened to our boy Huxley? Did you give him away? Am I gonna assume that they gave him away? Yes. Bro, if this goes to the darkest of the dark, and this guy says they killed him or something, I'm walking off. I'm actually gonna... I'm walking off, bro.
When they asked about him in the comments, their questions would often get deleted. So the boy whose adoption had helped grow the channel was suddenly fading from the story without any explanation. That silence set the stage for one of the most infamous videos in YouTube history. On May 26, 2020,
They're gonna say he died. Look at her crying already. If they see, bro, I'm walking off, bro.
Micah and James uploaded a 7-minute video titled An Update on Our Family. In the video, they sit on a neatly made bed, looking straight into the lens. Micah is visibly emotional. James does most of the talking at first. He explains in careful language that after consulting with multiple professionals, they've decided to dissolve Huxley's adoption. In their words, to place him with a new forever family who is better equipped to handle his needs. They say,
Okay, see, I was right. They gave him away. They literally just used this poor child to get money and then just dispose, like the Toy Story meme. I don't want to play with you anymore. You see how evil humans are? That's what I keep saying. After watching all these YouTube's darkest videos, darkest corners of the internet, bro, Thanos is right. Every anime villain is right. Like, yo, humans are disgusting creatures, bro. We really are.
his special needs are more severe than they had understood, as they suggest that there are things in his file and issues they can't share publicly that made caregiving impossible for them. They stress that they still love him and that this decision was made with his best interest in mind, and that he was now thriving and happy with his new family. They ask for privacy, and they say they will not go into further detail to protect his story, but many viewers had a problem with this request. Nearly every day of Huxley's life with them had already been filmed and uploaded. His adoption day, his first words, his meltdowns, his therapies, his diagnosis. The channel had turned that story into a public narrative for 3 years, right up until the moment the narrative stops being flattering. Therefore, when they ask viewers to look away, it feels less like a request for privacy and more like damage control. The backlash was very severe. Within days, news outlets described the Storfers as the YouTubers who rehomed their autistic or adopted son. Articles ask how a family who campaigned for the funds, flew to China, and promised a forever home could now treat that child as returnable. A Change.org petition demanding that YouTube remove monetized videos exploiting a special needs child.
Yeah, bro, they treated him like a toy. Like, oh, we're gonna get this cool toy. I'm gonna show everyone, hey, look at my cool toy. And then, I don't want to play with this anymore. That's a human. That's a child. He needs loving, caring parents to grow. And y'all were not there for this innocent child. And you just gave him away.
Gather more than 150,000 signatures. It argues that the family used Huxley's story to grow their audience and then gave him away when the care became too hard. Ohio authorities also opened an investigation into Huxley's welfare to ensure he's safe in his new home. They ultimately state that he is, and no criminal charges are filed against the Storfers. Micah then posts a written apology on Instagram. She says they did not adopt Huxley to get rich, and that any money earned from the videos went back into his care. She says she's sorry for the pain
Stop the cap.
that they caused. But public opinion had already turned. The Forever Family story is more than broken, and the people who are asked to invest in it feel used. Therefore, the Storfers do the one thing that they can still control. They disappear. In the weeks after the backlash, Micah begins scrubbing her online presence. She removes references to Huxley from her social media bios, rephrasing herself as a mother of 4 instead of 5. Videos featuring him begin to vanish or go private. Eventually, the Store for Life channel itself disappears completely. Only fragments of it survive in news clips, reaction videos, and documentaries. Micah stops posting on YouTube and Instagram altogether, and since the incident, she has not returned to social media in any serious way. James, however, continues to upload on his separate car channel, Store for Garage, which had always been more about vehicles than kids. Meanwhile, updates about Huxley come only through second-hand statements. The Storfers' lawyers say he's been placed with a new family with medical training who can better support his needs. In a way, that's the best possible outcome for him. A stable home, no cameras, and a chance to grow up without strangers analyzing his every move.
great.
On screen right now, you're looking at one of the channels that quietly rewired YouTube kids. It was called Webs and Tiaras. Grown adults dressed up in cheap Spider-Man, Elsa, Joker, and princess costumes, running around suburban streets and small sets. There was almost no dialogue, just cartoon music and big, exaggerated acting. A lot of the clips are just silly and low budget, but once you watch more than a few, the tone would start to shift. The skits would constantly drift into bizarre, sometimes nasty territory, with fake blood, pregnancy bells.
Yeah, I was about to say, I swear they did like pregnancy stuff. Bro, this shit was so bad. I know these bands walked away with so much money, but this shit was a literal disease on YouTube when it came out.
Injections with giant syringes, and bondage-style restraints. So you had adults in kids' costumes acting out childbirth, medical procedures, kidnapping, and bondage, all under bright titles like Frozen Elsa and Spider-Man Fun in real life. But Webs and Tiaras wasn't just one weird channel. Nearly identical channels called things like Toy Monster, The Superhero's Life, and The Kids Club copied the format exactly. Same costumes, same sets, same wordless skits with superheroes and princesses in very strange scenarios. Parents realized these videos weren't slipping through by accident. They were aimed straight at YouTube kids and autoplay. The metadata was loaded with phrases like learn colors, nursery rhymes for kids, educational. After months of pressure, parents, journalists, forums, the Elsagate hashtag, and a big subreddit cataloging these channels, YouTube was finally forced to make a public statement. In late November 2017,
What was that? I don't even want to go back and look at that. You gotta be kidding me.
the company announced it had terminated more than 270 accounts and removed over 150,000 videos for violating its new guidelines on children's content. It also turned off comments on over 625,000 videos and stripped ads from nearly 2 million. If Webs and Tiaras was the first wave of YouTube Kids' nightmare, GoCat is the sequel. As with all these channels,
Oh, this is AI, bro. This is AI garbage. AI slop.
it looks harmless initially. The channel description welcomes you to a fun and exciting YouTube channel for kids.
Bro, this dude putting like the most generic ass story and then put that version of like popular Billie Eilish or popular pop song. Like the one that's like, I can't even, bro, my freaking, I'm still sick. I can't even sing that song. Yeah, they'll just go like, meow, 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 meow. That song. And it'll be like this stupid ass story. And it'll get like 150 million views. And I'm just like, who's watching this, bro? Who's really watching this?
Promising imagination, colorful animation, and surprising stories of transformation. The pattern was always the same. Animated cats are beaten, starved, or thrown away like rubbish. Parents slam them with bats and frying pans, scream at them, and kick them out of the house. Sometimes the kittens are shown with parasites crawling out of their bodies, or with their organs spilling out in surreal body horror transformations. Then, near the end of the clip, there's a lesson. The parents apologize, the kittens are taken to a hospital, revived by a doctor, and everyone hugs while melancholic music or a meowing cover of a pop song plays. It's
See, I told you. Yo, it's exactly the same formula, bro.
Framed as a story about forgiveness, but most of the runtime is still abuse, gore, and definitely content children shouldn't be watching. So GoCat isn't exactly about funny cats. It's child abuse themes and horror images packaged in the shape and pacing of a kid's cartoon. If you looked only at the titles and descriptions, words like funny cat, family fun, and Disney animated movies on videos where those same cats are mutilated or abused. Other clips with polar bears and reindeer infected with parasites were tagged with hashtag animal rescue, as if
See, it's crazy. They allowed this, but like if you play Mortal Kombat, you have to censor that game. Like that's the funny thing. So YouTube Kids, okay? This is YouTube Kids stuff that are showing gore and like infected gore. But if you play Mortal Kombat, you play the new Mortal Kombat games, and you show the X-ray, your video's getting demonetized. So many people I watch who played the Mortal Kombat games, they have to censor the X-rays. So it's like, if you don't want to allow that, but you allow this, like, what are y'all doing, huh? What are y'all doing, YouTube?
Are educational wildlife videos. The real issue is GoCat and similar channels are so easily accessible. If children typed phrases in like Minions, Thomas the Tank Engine, or cute cats, their channels would appear. So you don't have to go looking for this. You just have to let a child type in cute cat and leave autoplay running. Eventually, Wired wrote an article and contacted YouTube about GoCat and the other cat channels in 2025. YouTube said it had already terminated 2 of these types of channels for breaking its child safety rules. So some of the worst copycat channels had disappeared, but the main one, GoCat, didn't. The channel is still online, still branding itself as fun and exciting for kids.
Shake my head, bro.
What we're going to do is drop the 2 balls and see how high they bounce. Try and catch them. There we go. Okay. Now, both bounce about the same height, but that doesn't mean they both have the same amount of energy.
Some of the channels are obviously disturbing the moment you hit play. Toy Freak, Fantastic Adventures, The Laxative Prank. But there's another category of risk that's harder to spot. These are the channels that parents actually seek out. The clearest example is The Happy Scientist. For decades, John Robert Cramp was known as a kids' science educator. He toured schools and events as Mr. Electricity, doing live shows about physics and chemistry. Later, he moved online. Under the name The Happy Scientist, he posted nearly 90 short science videos to YouTube. They showed experiments with static electricity, air pressure, light, and sound. The kind of demonstrations teachers love to project in class. The channel was small by YouTube standards, with a few thousand subscribers, but his reach was much bigger than that. His website and videos were used by homeschoolers and elementary schools around the US, especially in Utah, where he lived. But in September 2020, federal agents and local police turned up at his door. The police in southern Utah were running an undercover operation on Craigslist. The aim was to catch people looking for sexual contact with children. They posted decoy ads and monitored replies. According to local news reports summarizing police affidavits, investigators say Cramp came onto their radar after he became involved with one of those ads. An ad that strongly implied adults could spend time with a child. When officers and the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force arrived at his door and searched the house, they found what one report described as thousands upon thousands of child abuse images and videos. According to court documents, there were more than 20 external hard drives in his possession.
Yo, 20 external hard drives? This bad? Electric chair.
Including one 4 terabyte drive filled with material involving minors. Some of the files involved children under the age of 12. Cramp was 64 years old when a federal grand jury indicted him on 2 counts of receiving and possessing CP. At the same time, Utah prosecutors filed 10 state-level counts of sexual exploitation of a minor. The material wasn't connected to his videos. He wasn't secretly filming kids inside his experiments. The YouTube content itself remained generic and safe-looking. But that's exactly the point. Parents and teachers have been inviting this man into their homes and classrooms through his channel. They trusted him with their kids' attention, and they treated him as an authority figure in front of 8-year-olds. The Happy Scientist doesn't look anything like Toy Freaks or Fantastic Adventures. There are no screaming kids on camera, no obvious red flags in the thumbnails. If anything, his channel looks like the solution to the rest of this video. The channels you tell parents to put on instead of random recommendations. They show that the risk on YouTube Kids isn't only in the footage. Sometimes it's the trust we place in the person behind the channel. A retired teacher making science videos who built a brand that felt safe enough for teachers to show in class and parents to recommend to each other. That concludes today's video. If you want something else to watch or listen to, there's a video on screen that YouTube thinks you'll enjoy.
Yay. Yeah, his was, this guy pulled the reverse Uno card. He was like, I'm gonna make an educational channel so people will think I'm good, and then I'll do the bad. That's crazy. I was like, yo, when is this gonna get a? I was like, damn, he just had a separate channel, science channel, lured all the parents and kids to be like, oh, this guy's such a good person, bro. He's a retired teacher. He's teaching us all the cool stuff. Bringing him to schools? Dude, 20 external hard drives. Guy's a demon. That was a crazy video, bro. These family channels need to all die, bro. I'm gonna be honest. We don't need family channels anymore. Just get rid of all of them, please. Because we really don't know what the hell's going on in the background. And this whole video just showed us what can truly be going on in the background. So that was YouTube Kids channels removed for disturbing reasons. You guys were disturbed just as I was. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. And if you're new, thanks for watching. And subscribe for more horror, disturbing reactions. Let me know if you have a video you want me to react to. Put it down in the comments. And I'll react to it. And with that, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.